Erica knew Charlie would be, but he did not. Well, if she didn't know, someone else sure did. This post is up on X. You should go look at it. It's from the official Heritage Foundation. It says that a certain someone sent a letter of condolence to Charlie Kirk's family, praising him as a true friend. Do you guys see what date is up in the corner? Yeah. Kind of weird, eh?
September 2nd, 2025. He was killed on September 10th, just for the record.
The letter says, to the dear family members of Charlie Kirk, with deep sorrow and great pain, I received the devastating news of the unaliving of Charlie, solely because he was a clear and unwavering voice of truth. So by the way, I love my life, my mental health is great, and I have carbon monoxide detectors in my house.
All right, y'all. This is somewhat of a part 2 from last night's live stream. What's going on, Dion? What's up, Shauna? So this is kind of like a part 2 from last night's live stream. We talked about this last night.
Him and I have communicated over the years. I have known Charlie Kirk for a number of years. Him and I have communicated over the years extensively, from everything from politics to girls.
Let me stop you for 1 second. I just want to make you aware that I do record all my calls. If you ask me to...
Love you too, Shauna.
I was hoping you would. It's fine. That's fine. And so anyway, over the years, I'll just give you a little background who I am. I'm part of the original crew of Oath Keepers, okay, dating back to 2009. And I'm first...
All right, so I had to do my own research on Oath Keepers, so I got that understood, because I didn't know who the hell they were last night.
I met Charlie in 2011 when he was just a kid. I think he was like 16, 15, 16. I met his dad, and anyway, in Quartzsite, Arizona. It was the Quartzsite Liberty Festival in Arizona in 2011, in August of 2011. It was quite hot down there, 117 degrees. But there was an issue down there, and so I put on a rally down there and had several dignitaries there, state senators and so forth, a candidate for governor at the time, Barry Guss, and different things. And anyway, that's how him and I met. So over the years, we communicated, via tags, via social media and stuff like that. Fast forward to December of last.
Oh, hold on. Let me put your comment on the screen so you can see your comment on TV then. He said he was watching me on TV. Let me put your comment on the screen so you can see it. So now you can see your comment. So anybody watching from their TV, you can now see your own comment on the TV.
Last year, I had just recently moved back down to Arizona from Northern California. Now I'm 55 years old, so but I was coming back down to Arizona from Redding, moving back down here to Arizona. And this was December. Anyway, I got pneumonia really, really bad. The Legionnaire's pneumonia. And so Charlie sends me a text one night, a message. Now these are... What I'm telling you, these are all, there's receipts for, in his DMs and mine. I don't have access to my old account, but in his account, they're there, no doubt. So anyway, he contacted me, and he was very adamant about me helping him with security. And he was almost like, how do I put this? The way he was, what I interpreted from reading what he was saying, I could tell that there was an urgency.
All right, so everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button as y'all come in.
He was aware that he was in danger, is what I interpreted, as how I interpreted it. I told him, I said, well, hey, we just had the election. I'm sick. We'll get together soon. Okay. Now this is like right before Christmas time. Gotcha. Well, finally on January the 6th, I ended up going down to the emergency room at Australia Banner Health.
Somebody said, what is the name of the person? His name is Mike Fry. He's a friend of Charlie Kirk.
Banner Health, Australia, on 92nd Avenue, here in Phoenix, Arizona. Okay. And that's where they found out that I had the Legionnaire's pneumonia and stuff like that. So I told them, I said, hey, man, we're going to have to put this off because I'm really sick. So we were scheduled to meet in Phoenix on the 25th of January. On the 22nd of January, as I'm still going through all this, A person that I had only met maybe for a couple weeks was a neighbor of mine, and him and I and my girlfriend at the time had dinner that night. Well, this was the 22nd, 2 days after Trump got into the office. Well, this guy and I had a heated conversation afterwards about politics. Okay, and he was a member of the academia. He told me he was a former police officer one time. He was.
So this is his next door neighbor that he only knew for a week. This was a little confusing because why is a neighbor that just moved in all over my house, all in my house? I don't know you. If I look outside and I see a neighbor that just moved in, I might say, hey, how you doing? But I'm not inviting that person into my house because I don't know who they are. That's just me though. Would you invite a neighbor that just moved in your subdivision into your house after a couple weeks? Am I crazy? Let me know what y'all think. I'm not.
A professor at colleges. He told me that he had educated 400 plus teachers in the Arizona area. Yada yada yada. Anyway, the conversation.
This guy was your neighbor, you're saying?
Yeah, and I had only known him for, like I said, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Okay, because I was sick during the time. Anyway, all I know is his first name was Mike. I don't remember his last name at all. Couldn't even remember it.
You only know his name is Mike. You don't know nothing about him. Like, does he got a wife? Like, what is going on? And the thing about it is, he may not even be your neighbor. He might be a friend of a neighbor. Like, I'm not inviting no random ass person in my house. But so y'all are saying y'all wouldn't do it either, right? It sounds crazy.
Never tried to find him. But anyway, so the conversation got really heated. Well, he started talking about Charlie Kirk.
And then he comes in your house talking about your friend Charlie Kirk. It just sounds weird.
And I said, well, he's a good kid and stuff. And he goes, yeah, well, he's been slotted for termination.
He's sitting on your couch talking about your friend has been slated for termination. First, I wouldn't know what the hell that meant. But second, who are you to know what's going on with my friend? And why are you sitting on my couch? Think about that. You're sitting on my couch talking about my friend that just asked me about my security team because his security team is trying to unalive him. And you're on my couch talking about the same thing that my friend was telling me about because Charlie Kirk called him and was like, hey, can you give me more security or your security because my security team is acting weird and I'm in fear of my life. And your neighbor is saying the same thing?
I said, oh, really? So then the conversation really got heated. And he told me I had been slotted for reprogramming. So
wait, what's going on, Roxy Red? YouTube is attempting to piss your people off, Aaron. Why? Hold on. I know y'all don't want me to stop it. What's going on, Roxy? I just want to make sure. Roxy Red, can you tell me what is happening that you see? I just want to make sure. Yeah, I'm not buying this car either. Roxy, what are you saying YouTube is attempting to piss people off? What's happening? I just want to make sure I'm not missing something. Because YouTube is doing all kinds of stupid stuff. They demonetized my last video. So yeah, YouTube is doing something, but it's something that you know about. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything.
Now my antennas are up like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Okay. The fight went down. And the ironic thing is I ended up getting arrested.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry. This is important. Somebody said they keep getting kicked off of my live chat. YouTube, can you please leave my people alone? See, this is what happens to it has happened a couple times. Y'all read this. Somebody said they keep getting kicked off the live chat. Why is YouTube doing this? Yesterday, I lost 400 people, literally 400 people in like 30 seconds. They kicked 400 people off my stream yesterday. So yeah, it is something going on. But I apologize for interrupting this thing.
For quote unquote domestic violence. They charged me with a fucking misdemeanor.
Oh, so you got in a fight with.
So here's another thing right here. He got into a fight with the person, and I'm sorry, y'all. I halfway believe this, because if you come over my house and start talking about my friend, not my best friend, not my cousin, not my mama, but somebody that I know, not my best friend, not my bestie, and you're like, yo, your friend is being slotted for termination. One, I'm gonna patiently be like, wait, what does that mean? But according to this audio, he turns around and punches him in the face. Why are you punching the man in the face? Why don't you just ask for more information? So this is the reason why I'm a little confused on why this man is doing these things. So let's back it up a little bit.
So then the conversation really got heated. And he told me I had been slotted for reprogramming. So then now my antennas are up like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk is slotted for termination, and you are being slotted for reprogramming. Sir, who are you? You're in my house.
Okay. The fight went down. And the ironic thing is, I ended up getting arrested.
But that's the thing. Why are you punching somebody in the face that's sitting in your house? I would just call the police. I don't understand. Why do you punch somebody in the face because they say something that you don't like? They're in your house. Just tell them to leave. So this is weird. And then the police gets called and they take him away. And it's for domestic violence. You cannot, I'll say it again, you cannot be charged for domestic violence if the person is your neighbor and y'all get into a fight. Domestic violence is an offense that is specifically predicated for lovers. And the reason why domestic violence is important, the wording, is because if you get charged for the domestic violence, that means you are a person that is prone to beat on your mate. That's the reason why domestic violence is specific, because domestic violence will stop you from getting a job. Domestic violence will stop you from getting an apartment somewhere, because it shows that you have domestic issues. The word domestic is like when you domesticate a cat. A cat that's on the outside of your house is a stray cat. A cat that you own is a domesticated cat. So domestic violence means the other person lives in the house with you. That's specific. So if he got charged with domestic violence, he's one, lying. Two, don't know what the hell he got charged for. Three, he was fucking this person and he's lying about who the person is. Talking about he's a neighbor I don't know for 2 weeks. Something is wrong about this domestic violence situation. And to the new people who just came in, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the like button.
Quote unquote domestic violence. They charged me with a misdemeanor.
Oh, so you got in a fight with the guy?
Yeah, I got in a fight with the guy because I didn't appreciate him. He was over at my house having dinner. Then he starts, talking all this crazy stuff about Trump, and then goes into Charlie Kirk and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, now I'm pissed off because I've known Charlie for a number of years. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
And so the fight goes down. Next morning, I'm arrested. So I'm in jail. Okay? That Saturday, the 25th, is when we were supposed to meet, Charlie and I. Okay? If you get into his DMs, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's all there. The receipts are there. But here's what the question that needs to be asked. One is this. What did Charlie know in December? What is it that he knew that he was so concerned that he had to reach out to me? Now, I had never done security for him. I had never done security for him at any of his rallies.
They were having dinner. I think it's two different situations, because it was one time he said him, his lady, and the other. I don't know. I have believed this. I don't know.
Okay, but he knew who I was, obviously, over the years. He knew what I had done. I mean, when the Courtside Liberty Festival went down, hell, I had 3.
Sean, I have no idea why you're getting kicked off. I didn't do it. I don't know what's going on. Sean says, I had to make another account because I've been kicked off 4 times. I didn't do that. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea.
Different separate security teams there because I had dignitaries and so forth. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got shot. So he reached, that was the point. But he reaches out to me. So the question is, what was it that he knew to make him reach out to me to help him with security? He even.
Marissa says, aren't police records public records? Yes, I agree. Yes.
Offered to pay me. I said, so don't worry about that. I don't need the money because I had dignitaries and so forth. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got shot. So he reached, that was the point. But he reaches out to me. So the question is, what was it that he knew to make him reach out to me to help him with security? He even offered to pay me. I said, so don't worry about that. I don't need the money. No, I wouldn't do that I wouldn't help you for money, And
I think that's a little weird also. Nobody does that. Nobody's going to, because you got to remember, if you have a security detail, you have to pay the security detail to secure the other person. So why would you say I wouldn't take money from him if he's going to give him a security detail? Is Mike saying he's going to be the lone security guard? That don't make no sense. So apparently Mike has access to a security company or owns a security company or owns something where he can call them up and say, hey, I need you to fly out so-and-so and secure this person. You got to pay them. So why would you not get paid from Charlie and pay these people out of your own pocket? That don't make no sense.
And so anyway, so there's the first question. The second question is this: if that person said that Charlie Kirk had been slotted for termination, he said, okay, Tyler may have pulled the trigger. What I'm saying is
what it sounds to me like is somebody that was in the know that knew that you were supposed to meet Charlie made it a point to make sure you didn't go to that meeting. They were intentionally sent to where you were.
And this is another problem I have right here. How did the neighbor know that you're going to punch him in the face? So I want y'all to think about that. Say this neighbor came over there to set this guy up. Okay. How did the neighbor orchestrate him getting locked up? Because if you come over my house and you start telling me Charlie Kirk, say I'm friends with Charlie Kirk, he's getting slated for termination, I'm gonna be like, what? And you're slated for this or whatever, right? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I need you to leave. I don't know who you are. Get out. And if he doesn't get out, I'm not going to punch him in the face. I'm going to call the police because you in my house. I'm going to call the police. I'm calling the police because I want to set precedent with my next door neighbor that I'm not into this bullshit. I'm going to call the police on your ass. Get out of my house or I'm going to call the police. So with all that being said, how and why would a person that's your next door neighbor get you in a position where you can go to jail? Nobody punches their visitor in the face. And it doesn't make sense. So what is the plan to get you in a position where you can't meet up with Charlie other than this domestic violence thing that doesn't even make any sense in the first place?
To rile you up and to get you arrested. That way you could not keep your meeting with Charlie.
No.
That's exactly what happened.
No, that's not
that was
what
precisely what happened.
That don't mean nothing.
So, the first question is, what did Charlie know that had him so urgent to reach out to me? He even offered me money after all these years of knowing him to help him with the security. There's the first question. The second question is if Tyler pulled the trigger, and this guy said this to me in December, obviously there was a plot.
Yeah,
And you have to offer somebody money. Security has to have insurance. Do you know how much money it costs for security to insure themselves just in case they shoot somebody? You can't just go somewhere and be their security. You have to pay the people to go there. You have to fly the people to where the place is or transport the people to where the place is. And you have to have insurance for the security detail just in case they shoot somebody. So no, none of this makes any sense.
you know, from what we've seen, they've been planning this for a long time.
Yes. So, you know, and I called the FBI. I called the FBI in Utah. I called the FBI. I called the Phoenix FBI the day that Charlie was shot.
And nobody's contacted you from there.
And nobody's contacted me back. I contacted the FBI field office in Salt Lake City, and nobody has called me back.
Wow. Yeah, well, that seems to be a recurring theme here. Every one of these people that have witnessed it or I've talked to or whatever that have evidence, they say they've called the FBI or nobody's, even the people that were there that day and saw it and are witnesses. They tell us that the FBI never got their witness statement, never called them, never tried to contact them. Like, I don't know how they're building this rock solid case against Tyler Robinson when they haven't even spoken to the damn witnesses on the ground that day.
Exactly. And Tyler Robinson, let's just assume he was the shooter. And I'm actually going to believe that he was the shooter. But okay, that's fine. We can put it all on that as him being the shooter, but he is not the one that had this plot in motion because Charlie was aware of it in December. So,
right.
You know, the little messages, you know, little signs and so forth. But nonetheless, those are my questions. What did Charlie know that was so urgent for him to reach out to me, who was 55? I had retired from the scene as far as the Oath Keepers go, a number of years ago, actually. You know, I tried to warn everybody about Ray S. with Stewart. I tried to tell him, hey, this guy's not good. Well, he was there, and you know, we all know what Ray S is. Now we all know the FBI was involved in J6.
Yep.
But that's besides the point. The point is that Charlie reached out to me. He was concerned. He was adamant. I mean, he was texting me the whole time I was laying in bed with pneumonia.
Yeah, he clearly did not, you know, he was having trust issues.
No, that's not Rob McCoy. This is Rob McCoy. Listen to that's not Rob McCoy. This is Rob McCoy right here.
I want to address something. The stupidity of the internet. Oh, signals? Really? You're going to put that garbage out that they were giving hand signals?
He sounds nothing like Rob McCoy.
That was Frank Turek. He was covered in blood because he was giving Charlie CPR.
Nobody was covered in blood, you idiot.
He's an apologist for the Christian faith. His children were on the phone when he was videotaping.
Hey, I don't know. Somebody else just said they got kicked off. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
It, and they saw the bullet. His heart's ripped out. Signals, really? And the other guy, Dan, the security guard, he's somehow tied in with this conspiracy. Get over yourself. Dan is a believer.
Okay, so shout out to Dana. I found it. I think this is the case number. Hold on, let me see if I can get somebody to check out this real quick. Y'all are detectives up in here. So hold on a second. Take a picture. Hold on. So, all right. So I'm keep playing it. I'm gonna see if I can get somebody to look up that case number. You got the link? Here's the link. Where's the link? I don't have the link. What? Hey, can you DM me the link real quick, Dana? Thank you so much, Dana. This is my Instagram page right here. We're on to something right here, y'all. We found the dude's domestic violence record. So send me a DM on IM_Mr. Let Go real quick. Just send it to me and I'll look for you. If you show up in a request, I'll look for it real quick. Wow, we may be on to something.
Maybe with the security.
There was something shady going on. He was aware of it. He was aware of it, and that was in December.
Gotcha.
So from that point until the time he was killed, the plot was already in motion.
Yep.
Now here's the deal. They wouldn't let his team, quote unquote, fly drones that day. Am I right or wrong?
That's what they said, but that's a lie. They even posted on Charlie's birthday, and they've taken it down since after I called them out on it. Now they're trying to pretend like it didn't happen. But on Charlie's birthday, they even posted a tribute video, and in that tribute video, they posted a section.
They had drones in the air.
A short, like a 9-second section of the drone footage that they took that day.
That's what I'm alluding to. That's exactly what I'm alluding to. Now here's the deal. When we did every security event that I ever did throughout Arizona from 2011 to 2013, there was quite a bit of stuff going on during that time. I had drones in the sky. I had the chief of police of Phoenix told me I couldn't have them. Well, I had them there anyway. I ignored the chief of police telling me, "No, you can't have that."
So did you send me the thing? I'm waiting on you. Hold on. Who said that? Dana, I'm waiting. Did you send it to me? I'm waiting on you now. Did you send it?
You can't have drones. Well, okay, all right. I won't have any drones, but I had drones up in the air.
Yep.
And I always had 3 different separate teams. Okay, so when I did security for events, in the Earthkeeper's hat, throughout my career, nobody was ever hurt. There's a reason for that because of the way I did it. And I think that's the reason why Charlie reached out to me. Charlie was scared in December. He was legitimately scared. So anyway, I'm glad to be able to get that off of my chest. Like I said, I've tried talking to the FBI. I've tried to tell them, and nobody wants to listen. So, nobody wants to call me and what have you. So I need to have full disclosure. You're welcome to do that information with whatever you like.
All right, so let me show you proof that Frank Turk, because all these guys are idiots, so they keep telling on each other. I'm going to show you exactly what Frank Turk said. Wait, what? Hold on. I'm about to show you exactly what Frank Turk said.
The stupidity.
Right here.
He knew there were thousands of people there, and he knew in order to minister to people, you can't completely isolate yourself. Thousands.
Don't be acting afraid. What everybody hit the like button.
And in fact, when we were driving into that event, Megan, and his team has drones up.
Y'all listen. He said it right here. His team got drones up.
Don't be acting afraid. What everybody hit the like button.
And in fact, when we were driving into that event, Megan, and his team has drones up, looking at the crowd from above, and they text him some video. And there's thousands of people there an hour before the start. And I said, Charlie, I don't like this place. There's too many buildings. And but he shrugged it off. He knew there were thousands of people there, and he knew in order to minister to people, you can't completely isolate yourself.
Boom. There were drones. There were drones. More proof that everybody is lying. And one more time. So hold on. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Got it. All right. So we got some information in, y'all. This is going to verify whether this guy is lying or telling the truth. All right, so let's see. This is good. Thank you so much, Dan. So this is Arizona Judicial Branch. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because I want to make it as small as possible. because the bigger the screen, the harder it is for you to actually see. So hopefully we can see this, because this is kind of small. And I got glasses on, so it's very small writing. So let's see. All right, so let's do this. So I'm gonna play the intro, and then by the time the intro is over, I'll have the information, because it's gonna take a second for it to come in. So give me a second.
Everybody hit the like button. 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 If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say.
All right, so here we go. And I'm going to show y'all a little bit of verification of what the other guy said also. So let me play this. Let me show y'all this first. And then we're going to go to what Dan just sent me. So let's read this first. I read this last night. So this literally verifies what that audio was saying, even though I don't necessarily believe it. It says, bombshell, Charlie Kirk was slated for termination in December of 2024. His friend was deliberately stopped from saving him. Allegedly is the guy that is in the audio, a longtime friend and security expert who knew Charlie Kirk since his teenage years. That's literally what the guy said in the audio. Has come forward with chilling details about the conservative leaders' final months. This individual, a founding member of Oath Keepers with extensive experience protecting political figures, received desperate messages from Charlie Kirk in December 24. So I wanted to play that. So now let's go to this interesting information. Everybody make sure to hit the like button. We are breaking news as we speak. So this ain't just information from last night. This is breaking news right here. Everybody drop breaking news in the chat. Everybody drop breaking news in the chat. Everybody say breaking news in the chat. Oh shit, I can't read this. Can y'all read this? Let me see if I can read it on my phone. Okay. All right. There's some little ass writing, but I think I can make it out. All right. So I'm going to read this on my phone because, all right. So it says 7/30, 2025 case worksheet event. I'm just reading it, y'all. So I don't know what it is. 7/30, 2025 disposition updated. Dismissed on motion on request to pros. Scheduling event. Case status scheduled. Release order. Failure to appear. Case fee. Deferred prosecution fee. I'm just reading what this is saying. And Dan, can you explain what this is? And shout out to Marissa. I didn't get notified of your live. Okay, I found it. Case number. Okay, so Dan, can you explain to me exactly what's going on here? Let me see if. Hold on. Dan, can you come up real quick? Request to prosecute. Dan, can you come up here real quick? Because I want you to explain this a little bit. Because I'm reading it, but I don't really see anything. So I'm going to drop the link. So I'm dropping a link. Hopefully Dan can come up and explain this. Because as you can see, it's just a long ass list of stuff. scheduling. I'm trying to find out where it said. Okay, plea not guilty, failure to appear, warranted ordered, hearing held, fingerprint compliance, arrangement scheduled, folder created. So at the top, it says this case number right here, State of Arizona versus Michael Allen Fry. So this is the guy. So the guy wasn't lying. It says dismiss motion, request of prosecutor, dismiss motion, threat to cause injury or damage to person or prop. Disorderly conduct, fighting. So it wasn't domestic violence. The offense was disorderly conduct and fighting. So yeah, this is it. And it was, the date is filing date 2025, but the actual date was July, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, July 7/25. Yeah. So he's not lying. Thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate that. Yeah. Verified. I love verifying information. I love that. I love that. All right. So now we verified that. That's breaking news right there. That's crazy. Thank y'all so much for that. I love y'all. Okay. So now let's go to what I played this last night also, but some of y'all didn't see this because it was like late at night.
For a phone call that I had with Andrew Colvett, where I was crying on the phone with him. I mean, I am talking maybe 72 hours max.
Hold on. So Marissa says, but Michael Fry said it happened in December 2025. Did he say it happened in 2000? I don't remember when he said it. I know. You got a point. You got a point, Marissa. You got a point. His dates are off. His dates are off. Let me bring this back up. Oh, crap. He may be lying because this is July of 2025. So let's figure this out real quick, y'all. I'm not going to play the whole thing because the whole thing is
for a number of years. Him and I have.
All right, so right here.
Okay, but he knew who I was, obviously, over the years. He knew what I had done. I mean, when the Courtside Liberty Festival went down, I had 3 different separate securities of knowing him to help him with the security. There's the first question. The second question is, if Tyler pulled the trigger.
I've talked to or whatever that have evidence. They say they've called the FBI.
Then he starts, talking all this crazy stuff about Trump, and then goes into Charlie Kirk and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, now I'm pissed off because I've known Charlie for a number of years. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
And so the fight goes down. Next morning, I'm arrested. So I'm in jail. Okay? That Saturday, the 25th, is when we were supposed to meet, Charlie and I.
The 25th. He said the 25th.
The 25th is when we were supposed to meet. Charlie.
What 25th, though? The 25th of what month?
Because I've known Charlie for a number of years. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
And so the fight goes down. Next morning, I'm arrested. So I'm in jail. Okay? That Saturday, the 25th, is when we were supposed to meet.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Because I went down. The dates are correct. I went down. The citation was originally filed February 18th. 2025. February 18th, 2025. The last event, whether they, dismissed it, was July 2025. So they said something about Christmas. So yes, the dates work out. Because it says right here, filing date, February 18th. Disposition date when it was over was July 25th, 2025. So yeah, the dates work out. The dates work out. So yeah. All right. So thank y'all for putting all that together. That was dope. That was really dope. All right, so let's get to what Candace is saying.
There's another phone call that I had with Andrew Colvett where I was crying on the phone with him. I mean, I am talking maybe 72 hours max after Charlie was killed. And he was also upset on the phone.
No, everything was in 2025, not 2024. No, it was in 2025. It started in February 2025. And yes, it was Christmas 2024. What I'm saying is the paperwork started in 2025. That's all I'm saying. Yes, the next month. Yes, which is the next month, 2025. Yes.
But he said something, and it's hitting differently the more that I think about it. He said, and I quote, "Candace, it was supposed to be you. It was supposed to be you." Now, at the time, I dismissed this as some sort of bargaining, right? That's not.
So what do y'all think about this right here? I think this is the most damning information yet. Not damning on anybody, but the fact that, let's just say this. For anybody to think he was shot by a random person, that's over. Because her saying that is literally guaranteeing that this whole thing was a setup. The whole thing was a setup.
I want to tell you guys this. There's another phone call that I had with Andrew Colvett where I was crying on the phone with him. I mean, I am talking maybe 72 hours max after Charlie was killed. And he was also upset on the phone. But he said something, and it's hitting differently the more that I think about it. He said, and I quote, "Candace, it was supposed to be you. It was supposed to be you." Now, at the time, I dismissed this as some sort of bargaining, right? That's an actual stage of grief. You do bargain. You wish that it was this person. You could trade it. Maybe you wish that it was yourself. And to be honest, I did go through that phase of bargaining with Charlie. Like, why didn't it happen to somebody else? This is a good person who had his whole life ahead of him. I mean, I told you that even my father went through that stage of grief. My father was like, "This makes me feel terrible because Charlie has lived his life so admirably. And like, I've had so many chances in life, so many illnesses, and it just makes me so sad." But now I'm feeling a little bit different, removed from the situation. Like now I'm going, was I being, I don't know, was he being honest? Was Andrew being honest? Was Andrew trying to maybe communicate to me after, especially given the fact that I told you that while the actual day on September 10th, while Charlie was in the hospital, he told me that there was a list and that me and Tucker Carlson were on it and that we had to lay low, but he never told me who told him that. I never got a call from the feds telling me that. So I feel like these questions I have now are quite valid. Andrew, by the way, was not the only person who called me on that day and reached out to my family on that day with this warning, immediately cautioning me and Tucker to keep our mouths shut, telling us that we should lay low because there was a quote unquote list going around. Another person was a very well-known woman who happens to be married to a CIA contractor. Same exact message. You and Tucker Carlson. But of course, we cannot tell you who we are getting this information from.
All right, so we got more information. Look at this.
Cousin detoured Charlie Kirk to Salt Lake City.
So this is Charlie Kirk's cousin. This is Charlie Kirk's cousin. I got so much information to share with y'all.
Shocking. Charlie Kirk's own cousin detoured Charlie Kirk to Salt Lake City so he'd never see the blue Egyptian plane in Provo. The morning Charlie Kirk was supposed to land in Provo for the UVU event, a private blue Egyptian jet was sitting on a tarmac, the exact plane Candace Owens just exposed as belonging to the Egyptians and possibly connected to IHOP, who Charlie was about to burn to the ground. Charlie would have recognized it instantly. He would have known something was off the second the wheels touched down. So they made sure he landed at a different airport. His own cousin, Brian Simowitz, former USAF, which is USA Faith, married to Kelly Simowitz, who, by the way, is a major TPUSA Faith donor, the same organization crumbling under massive scrutiny under Candace.
Sorry, y'all. I'm sending something to my computer. So when I send something to my computer, it kind of like messes the audio up. So give it 1 second. I'm going to do it again.
A faith donor, the same organization crumbling under massive USA Faith, married to Kelly, possibly connected to IHOP, who Charlie was about to burn to the ground. Charlie would have recognized it instantly. He would have known something was off the second the wheels touched down. So they made sure he landed at a different airport. His own cousin, Brian Simowitz, former USAF, which is USA Faith, married to Kelly Simowitz, who, by the way, is a major TPUSA Faith donor, the same organization crumbling under massive scrutiny under Candace Owens' explosive revelations. This is what's crazy. Brian arranged a private interview with a Salt Lake City restaurateur the morning before the UVU event, most likely to make an excuse to fly there instead of Provo. That one meeting forced Charlie's flight to divert 45 minutes north and kept him completely blind to what was waiting in Provo. And when Charlie,
and we're gonna talk about this Provo plane, the blue plane, the yellow plane. I got confirmation from a few people and on a lot of different things. And I found, well, somebody sent me a video from Candace that she made 4 months ago. And that video is going to say so much about these planes, about all this stuff.
Collapsed hours later, Brian was mysteriously the only family member already in Utah making medical decisions until Erica arrived. This isn't coincidence. It's a family insider greasing the rails for foreign hitters and TPUSA cleanup crews. Brian and Kelly aren't footnotes. They're potential suspects in a hit that reeks of MK Ultra psyops.
When I learned that Charlie flew into Salt Lake City that morning, because why didn't he fly into the much closer Provo airport? Now, ostensibly, the answer is because he had an interview with a person that nobody really knows. He's a managing director of a restaurant fund. Andrew K. Smith, out of nowhere, does this restaurantology interview with Charlie. And so Charlie flew into Salt Lake to make this interview happen. That, to me, felt like an oddity, okay? Because in a typical scenario, Charlie is not going to be incentivized to go out of his way because he would only do it, actually, if there was a big donor on the hook, and maybe that's what he was told, this guy's going to give a ton of money to Turning Point USA, or B, because it was a major political person. Otherwise, for the sake of a podcast, people travel to Charlie, okay? If you want to get Charlie, you're going to travel to Charlie to make that happen. He's not going to go out of his way. So I felt, again, didn't share it at this time, that they diverted Charlie Kirk to Salt Lake City for a reason, okay? Charlie landed into Salt Lake City at 9:23 a.m. local time. I suspect that if he had instead landed into Provo, he would have recognized the blue Egyptian plane. He would have looked at that plane and he would have recognized.
And keep in mind, he would have recognized the blue Egyptian plane. Just keep that in your mental Rolodex.
The blue plane, and he would have instantly realized that something was amiss. And now I'm going to explain to you very carefully why I suspect that it is highly likely that Charlie would have recognized that plane, okay? Tail number SUBND, the blue plane. Between 2000.
And hey, we got to get the likes up. Thank y'all for being here. But can y'all please hit the thumbs up button? The likes are low. We got to get the likes up. We got almost 1,000 people in here. Can we get the likes up? So we're going to play a quick commercial and we're going to get back into this. But can we get the likes up? So we're going to have a little like party real quick. So everybody hit the like button. I'm going to play half of the song. I'm not going to play the whole song. Let's go. Everybody hit the like button.
Say, drop it in the comment. Don't be acting afraid. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city. Wet. Drop your city.
Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
What? Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat. What? Everybody. Everybody hit the like button. Yep. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Why did everybody hit the like button? Everybody.
All right, so let's get back to it. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Thank y'all. Keep hitting it. But thank y'all.
I'm starting to realize.
That's the wrong one. Where's the video was just looking at?
I suspect that if he had instead landed into Provo, he would have recognized the blue Egyptian plane. He would have looked at that plane, he would have recognized the blue plane, and he would have instantly realized that something was amiss. And now I'm going to explain to you very carefully why I suspect that it is highly likely that Charlie would have recognized that plane, okay? Tail number SUBND, the blue plane. Between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SUBTT, the yellow plane, and SUBND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erica's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. The flights were majority clustered within 5 states: Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Delaware, and Utah. And it's a pattern that she believes is statistically not random. I am telling you this information has been completely verified. I am showing you this on a spreadsheet now. These are all the instances in which this plane, 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erica. And I'm also going to say this includes overseas as well, okay? So my instant question becomes, why didn't Turning Point acknowledge that this plane was familiar to them? And when it comes to these Egyptian flights, the math on this is indisputable. There is less than a 0.000000001% probability, okay, under random distribution models that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erica at these times.
Candace Owens just revealed on her show that Erica Kirk is flying all around the world in an airplane owned by the Egyptian military. Aircraft that belong to a foreign military, to the Egyptian Air Force, are transporting not just Erica Kirk, but high-ranking members of TPUSA to and from Turning Point events, including the September 10th UVU event where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Does that strike anybody as odd? So the other day, Candace Owens reported on Egyptian military aircraft spying on Erica Kirk, tracking Erica Kirk. That was the language that Candace Owens used. She said that these aircraft were tracking Erica Kirk. On the show then, I said, well, it's interesting. What do we have here? Do we have Erica Kirk traveling around on Egyptian military aircraft? And then you all jumped in my comments. You were in my DMs saying that's not what Candace Owens said. Yes, no, I realized that Candace Owens said that these aircraft that belonged to the Egyptian Air Force were tracking Erica Kirk. First, the story was that in 29 occasions, they were in the proximity of Charlie Kirk, either before, during, or after one of his appearances in a publicly known whereabouts. Then somebody brought it to Candace's attention, saying, well, on over 70 occasions, they were in the proximity of Erica Kirk's publicly known whereabouts. So I'm making the relevant conclusion here. The relevant conclusion, based on the evidence, is that these Egyptian military aircraft are not being used as some sort of a form of espionage to spy on the First Lady of Turning Point, to spy on Erica Kirk. They're transporting Erica Kirk. They're transporting Erica Kirk. They're transporting Erica Kirk. If it's not nefarious, then why didn't TPUSA just come out and say, no, those are our jets. Of course, they're in the proximity of Charlie and Erica Kirk.
See, right there. I can't imagine these jets, the yellow one and the blue one, being property of Turning Point USA, because you got to remember, Candace just said that Charlie would have freaked out if they would have landed in Provo and the blue plane would have been there. If it's their plane, why would he freak out if it's his plane? So no, it's not his plane. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I think there's certain things that Candace can't say, and she's just sounding like she's babbling about these planes in order for us to catch the riddle and to actually put it all together, because I don't think Candace herself can ethically say Erica Kirk is on the blue plane, or Erica Kirk is following around Charlie for whatever reason, or this plane is following around Charlie through this whole time and Charlie didn't know, but Erica Kirk did know, because like they said, Erica Kirk is on the planes. I think that's a very important thing for y'all to understand. Erica Kirk is on the blue plane. So this mysterious plane flying around every time Turning Point USA does a thing, Erica Kirk is on the plane. Why is she spying on her own husband?
Including the September 10th UVU event.
Around Erica at these times. That this plane crossed with Erica. And I'm also going to say this includes overseas as well. Okay. So my instant question becomes, why didn't Turning Point acknowledge that this plane was familiar to them? And when it comes to these Egyptian flights,
because the plane is not familiar to them, it's familiar to Erica. The planes are familiar to Erica and not Charlie Kirk, because Erica most likely is part of all this. And guess what? Candace can't say that. Candace can't say that. And make sure to hit the like button, y'all. Y'all stop hitting the like button. So can y'all please hit the like button again, or go back to hitting the like button? This is crazy.
On this is indisputable. There is less than a 0.000000001% probability, okay, under random distribution models, that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erica at these times.
Candace Owens just revealed on her show that Erica Kirk is flying all around the world in an airplane owned by the Egyptian military. Aircraft that belong to a foreign military, to the Egyptian Air Force, are
Why is Erica riding around in an Egyptian-owned jet?
Transporting not just Erica Kirk, but high-ranking members of TPUSA to and from Turning Point events, including the September 10th UVU event where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Does that strike anybody as odd? So the other day, Candace Owens reported on Egyptian military aircraft spying on Erica Kirk, tracking Erica Kirk. That was the language that Candace Owens used. She said that these aircraft were tracking.
See, Candace Owens is using trickery language or using a riddle because she can't say what she wants to say because she's too close to Turning Point. It's up to us to figure all that stuff out that she's saying and for us to put it out, because she can't say anything about Erica Kirk.
Erica Kirk. On the show then, I said, well, it's interesting. What do we have here? Do we have Erica Kirk traveling around on Egyptian military aircraft? And then you all jumped in my comments. You were in my DMs saying that's not what Candace Owens said. Yes, no, I realized that Candace Owens said that these aircraft that belonged to the Egyptian Air Force were tracking Erica Kirk. First, the story was that in 29 occasions, they were in the proximity of Charlie Kirk, either before, during, or after one of his appearances in a publicly known whereabouts. Then somebody brought it to Candace's attention saying, well, on over 70 occasions, they were in the proximity of Erica Kirk's publicly known whereabouts. So I'm making the relevant conclusion here. The relevant conclusion, based on the evidence, is that these Egyptian military aircraft are not being used as some sort of a form of espionage to spy on the First Lady of Turning Point, to spy on Erica Kirk. They're transporting Erica Kirk. They're transporting Erica Kirk. They're transporting Erica Kirk. If it's not nefarious, then why didn't TPUSA just come out and say, no, those are our jets? Of course, they're in the proximity of Charlie and Erica Kirk because they're transporting them around the country. That's what I think the question actually is. What's going on with these jets? Candace Owens also made reference to Charlie Kirk would have noticed or recognized specifically the blue jet had he landed in Provo, where the Egyptian military jets had landed, rather than landing in Salt Lake City, where Charlie Kirk did land, and then drove hours to UVU.
And that's the thing that is so confusing and enlightening at the same time. They landed in Salt Lake City to hide the blue jet from Charlie Kirk. Think about this. They hid the jet from Charlie Kirk. Why did they need to hide the jet from Charlie Kirk if Erica Kirk is flying around on his blue jet 70 different times? Can anybody explain that in the chat? What are your thoughts on that right there? They landed in Salt Lake City mainly because Charlie Kirk could not see the blue jet, because if he seen the blue jet, Charlie Kirk would have been like, I'm out of here. This is a threat. But on that same blue jet, Erica Kirk has been flying in 70 some times. So why is Erica Kirk's blue jet a threat to Charlie Kirk, her husband? Can anybody explain that? That right there is damn.
So why is that a big deal? Why would it matter if Charlie Kirk recognized the plane on the tarmac that his wife was in? And why were we getting mixed stories about Erica Kirk's whereabouts on the day of September 10th? So that's
what I'm saying. Because when Charlie Kirk was killed, they immediately called Erica Kirk, and then they had to fly Erica Kirk in, but Erica Kirk was already there. Why was Erica Kirk at UVU without the knowledge of her own husband? What the fuck?
There are some relevant questions we could be asking. Now, if these are in fact owned by the Egyptian military, the question would be, why is the Department of Homeland Security or the Department of Defense allowing a foreign nation's military to be traveling around in our airspace?
And why are they flying Erica Kirk around in that jet?
Documented at least 70 times spying on an American citizen, which is just, I don't think that that's true. I don't see any motivation for that. So I think the questions need to be directed back to Turning Point and not to the Egyptian military.
Shocking.
Okay, so Tone, shout out to Tone. Tone is in the Scooby-Doo group. Tone said, I thought it could be Erica's mother's plane. But y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Erica's mother's last name is Fonsvey. It's not Kirk. So on the flight log, Kirk wouldn't be on the flight log. It would be Fonsvey. So what do you think about that, Tone? What do y'all think? It couldn't be Erica Kirk's mom because every plane has a flight log, and Fonsvey would have been on a flight log and not Kirk, because that's how she found out who was riding around in the plane. It was Erica Kirk. I'm just saying. All right. Back to this.
Consider who the sources are and their closeness to the military. And now that we've gotten into the story and realized that virtually everybody there that day has the...
I might as well play this again for the new people.
I want to tell you guys this. There's another phone call that I had with Andrew Colvett where I was crying on the phone with him. I mean, I am talking maybe 72 hours max after Charlie was killed. And he was also upset on the phone. But he said something, and it's hitting differently the more that I think about it. He said, and I quote, "Candace, it was supposed to be you. It was supposed to be you." Now, at the time, I dismissed this as some sort of bargaining, right? That's an actual stage of grief. You do bargain. You wish that it was this person. You could trade it. Maybe you wish that it was yourself. And to be honest, I did go through that phase of bargaining with Charlie. Like, why didn't it happen to somebody else? This is a good person who had his whole life ahead of him. I mean, I told you that even my father went through that stage of grief. My father was like, this makes me feel terrible because Charlie has lived his life so admirably. And like, I've had so many chances in life. So many illnesses, and it just makes me so sad. But now I'm feeling a little bit different, removed from the situation. Like now I'm going, was I being, I don't know, was he being honest? Was Andrew being honest? Was Andrew trying to maybe communicate to me after, especially given the fact that I told you that while the actual day on September 10th, while Charlie was in the hospital, he told me that there was a list. And that me and Tucker Carlson were on it and that we had to lay low, but he never told me who told him that. I never got a call from the feds telling me that. So I feel like these questions I have now are quite valid. Andrew, by the way, was not the only person who called me on that day and reached out to my family on that day with this warning, immediately cautioning me and Tucker to keep our mouths shut, telling us that we should lay low because there was a quote unquote list going around. Another person was a very well-known woman who happens to be married to a CIA contractor. Same exact message. You and Tucker Carlson. But, of course, we cannot tell you who we are getting this information from. I'm starting to realize, as I consider who the sources are and their closeness to the military, and now that we've gotten into the story and realized that virtually everybody there that day has these military ties, that threat may have been coming from the government, actually. That the globalized government that we live under, right, LOL to the idea that we have any national sovereignty, may have wanted me and Tucker to watch our friend die. And then that global gang wanted us to know that you will be next if you don't shut up. Like, really?
Yeah, I heard that, right? Because somebody said, how dare you label this video saying that they killed Charlie Kirk in order to send a warning to Candace? Well, Candace said it right here.
As these military ties, that threat may have been coming from the government, actually. That the globalized government that we live under, right, LOL to the idea that we have any national sovereignty, may have wanted me and Tucker to watch our friend die. And then that global gang wanted us to know that you will be next if you don't shut up. Like, really, it was supposed to be you. And this new status angle is not something that seems subtle to me. When I consider that it was Charlie that called me, it was Charlie that said that they want me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And now I consider status, which according to our source, our well-placed source, is a front, right? Suddenly this French company comes in and leases a hangar for only 2 years, okay? And immediately this becomes a location where our Egyptian military plane is going to land in Wilmington, Delaware, not to get service. We know there was no maintenance happening because there was this lack of a lease since 2021. All of this now feels really interesting, very interesting. And don't forget that same source claimed that after our Egyptian plane, tail number SUBTT, landed into this federally monitored hangar, and a foreign dignitary was then discreetly moved to 920 King Street, which we've learned. And
I want to come back to this because I have some more, I would say, breaking news, but y'all look at this. Y'all check this out. This is from
guys,
4 months
happy
ago.
Monday, and well, ladies and gents.
So this right here is a Candace episode 4 months ago.
I will say,
hold on. Let's see. She
all
said it
the
right
way
here.
back in February, and I was sworn to secrecy temporarily, and I feel that today is the correct day to inform audiences because it may have some severe global implications. So here is what happened, all right? The date was
Mind you, this is 4 months ago.
Monday, February 24th, and
Okay, so let's take that down. Monday, February 24th. Okay.
In the early evening, I had just kind of wrapped the show. It was just after 5:30 p.m. to be precise. I received a very strange message from a friend of mine. I'm not going to identify that friend, but the message.
The friend of mine is Charlie Kirk. The friend is Charlie Kirk because she verified that last night or yesterday. All right. So shout out to Charlie's Angels. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Charlie Kirk reached out when he was scared. Maybe someone high up knew. Sometimes you must let things play out to expose the whole plot. Blogger agency, then Turning Point USA and Cash Patel. I like that. Cash Patel is funny. Thoughts on that? Sometimes you must let things play out to expose the whole plot. Bigger agency. Oh, bigger agency. Yeah. I agree with you on it.
Specifically read, hey, I have something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call you. I'm just.
Now, this is Charlie Kirk.
Just the messenger here. Again, strange. I'm just the messenger here, like kind of removing themselves from whatever was going to be said. So I assume it's got to be something weird. And I say, yeah, whatever. Give me a call. And so he does call me pretty immediately, by the way. And he says, somebody very high up at the White House has asked me to ask you if, as a favor, you could stop speaking about Brigitte Macron.
Now, she said this 4 months ago when she was pregnant. Let me go back to this video because this is what's crazy.
Confirmed houses the DEA, the FBI, and the Secret Service. Hey,
So here we go.
And he tells me together. It's interesting. So we're going to bring that up here because I like timelines. It makes things neat, right? So we are in 2024, right? March 13th, I do that first episode regarding Brigitte Macron. March 19th, just 6 days later, I'm fired from the Daily Wire. I thought it was 10. It's actually 6 days later I get fired from the Daily Wire. And a couple of days later, on February 24th, Charlie Kirk reaches out and he tells me that the White House is asking me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And he tells me that it is related to the peace deal in Ukraine. It is related to the peace deal in Ukraine. It is related to the peace deal in Ukraine.
So I want y'all to think about that. Charlie Kirk hit up Candace and asked her on behalf of Donald Trump to stop talking about Brigitte Macron specifically because of what? They're working together on a peace treaty with Ukraine. And y'all don't think this woman has any power. Candace Owens has a lot of power. They're working on a peace treaty, and Candace Owens is on her YouTube channel talking shit about Brigitte. And Brigitte is literally like, yo, I'm not going to sign it until Candace stops talking about me. What? I want you to think about how much power this woman has. Damn.
Is ostensibly the reason on the same day, February 24th, that's how quickly the phone call happened. This is the day that Donald Trump meets with Emmanuel Macron. Do we have that, by the way, the text?
Y'all got to understand how much power Candace Owens has. She's stopping people from signing peace treaties? What in the world?
Only donors start to squeeze him and tell him that I can no longer hit the stage at Turning Point's AmFest. They want me gone from the Turning Point roster, right? I bring my new independent show back in June. And the timeline, actually, when I start to put these things together, is interesting. So we're going to bring that up here because I like timelines. It makes things neat, right? So we are in 2024, right? March 13th, I do that first episode regarding Brigitte Macron. March 19th, just 6 days later, I'm fired from the Daily Wire. I thought it was 10. It's actually 6 days later I get fired from the Daily Wire. And a couple of days later, on February 24th, Charlie Kirk reaches out and he tells me that the White House is asking me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And he tells me that it is related to the peace deal in Ukraine. It is related to the peace deal in Ukraine. It is related to the peace deal in Ukraine. That is
crazy.
Ostensibly the reason on the same day, February 24th, that's how quickly the phone call happened. This is the day that Donald Trump meets with Emmanuel Macron. Do we have that, by the way, the text message between me and Charlie? Here we go. Yeah, this is February 24th. I'm showing you guys this now. Hey, I have something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call you. I'm just the messenger here, but it's important. I say, okay, I'm around, call me. Then we have the phone call, and then I was like upset about the phone call because I was pregnant, and then I felt bad, and I was like, okay, let me think about it because I don't want people in Russia to be killed because I won't stop speaking about Brigitte if the Ukraine peace deal was at the center of this. And he says, okay. And then I tried to say I will circle back tomorrow, or maybe I said tonight, call if you want to chat at all. And we did, we chatted. The next day you can see he starts with the White House just asked for your number, FYI. I think POTUS might call you. And that's not what happened. On February 25th, actually, Sergio Gore called me and asked me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And it felt more like an order than a request. And I did not respond in kind to that. February 26th.
See, I got the video of her and how she was feeling at that time.
President Donald Trump calls me and asks me to stop speaking about Brigitte. Now, Charlie's in the middle of this. Communications are happening between me and Charlie about Brigitte, okay? On July 1st, and by the way, the series was over, and I said I'll agree to be quiet about this for a while because it's no longer relevant, and I don't want.
And that's the reason why they didn't kill Candace. Right there. That's the reason why they did not get rid of Candace. Right there.
Because it's no longer relevant, and I don't want Christian men to be slaughtered. Brigitte. Now, Charlie's in the middle of this. Communications are happening between me and Charlie about Brigitte, okay? On July 1st, and by the way, the series was over, and I said I'll agree to be quiet about this for a while.
That's it. That's the reason why they did not kill Candace. Because she stopped. According to Candace, not me, because I don't wish nothing on nobody. But according to Candace, her stopping at that point saved her life. She would have been dead if she would have kept talking about Brigitte at that particular point. Because between July and September, a lot of stuff was going on. What's up? Yeah, you don't change your name? Yay now? Hey. Yo. Candace would have died if she would not have stopped talking at this particular point. So instead of, because remember now, Charlie Kirk was literally slated for termination in December of 2024.
Charlie Kirk's own cousin detoured.
No, that's not it. Hold up. I'm just trying to put everything together for y'all. It's right here. Right here. Charlie Kirk was already slated for termination in December of 2024. I'm just trying to put everything together for y'all. All right. So what happens is, according to what everything is coming out to show, 3 people were slated for termination. Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens. But they were probably on a 3-strike system. And they're just like, all right, this is what we're going to do. Whoever keeps acting stupid is going to die. If the other 2 stop, it'll be a warning to the other 2. So whoever out of these 3 doesn't want to shut the hell up is going to die. And it will warn the other 2. So Candace talking about Brigitte. Tucker Carlson talking shit about IHOP. And Charlie Kirk talking shit about Ukraine. Which one of these 3 is going to learn how to shut up? Guess what? Candace Owens, shut up. Tucker Carlson, shut up. Because he was on the same series with Candace Owens about Brigitte. Guess who didn't shut up? Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk did not shut up. All right, back to Candace.
It was just after 5:30.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Because it's no longer relevant, and I don't want like Christian men to be slaughtered in Ukraine because I'm not keeping my mouth shut. Now, on July 1st, Macron sends another legal threat. On July 18th, this is where things get really interesting. Charlie Kirk hosts Tucker Carlson at SAS. This brings in the Tucker element, right? He tells Tucker to go max, call out Israel, Jeffrey Epstein, just go max. And back to our timeline, right? Tucker Carlson says that, and we then have on July 18th that the request from Turning Point's UVU chapter, which we've not been able to independently verify, but that's what the local news said, that they saw it with their own eyes, but we didn't see it. That's when the request comes in for Charlie to speak at UVU. Very late in the day, never happens this way, okay? Like I told you, they are always working at least a semester behind on requests, but this one's happening quickly. This is really interesting because BTT then comes in from Cairo through Paris and lands in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's the longest stay actually that they have in Wilmington. Okay, they do this long stay, and that's not in Nebraska. That long stay that I'm referring to is happening in Wilmington. They stay in Wilmington for 6 days. Okay, that happens to be from the 20th to the 26th. That happens to be the period that Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron released to the Financial Times that they are suing me in a Delaware court. Right? I'm not saying that Brigitte or Emmanuel are on this plane. What I'm saying is that could it have been a dignitary that was on this plane, a French dignitary that was on this plane? All options are possible at this point because guess who owns the hangar? A French company, okay? A French company owns the hangar. So that's interesting. Go back into this timeline and something else happens that's very strange in this constellation. Right after that, by the way, I'm gonna show you this. So odd, like we were so surprised when we got this. They depart on the 26th from Wilmington, heading back to Cairo. They released it in that period of time that they're suing me. On July 27th, I'm showing you this private communication between our legal team. We were very confused about why this lawsuit was being filed in Delaware. Like not putting anything together. We obviously didn't know about Satis, nothing. This is my lawyer, and he says, here's like the PDF. It's massive. We're likely going to try to file a motion to dismiss to stay the case on the grounds that it's inconvenient to litigate in Delaware because you're in Tennessee. Your company's in Delaware to not defame anyone. The witnesses are in Tennessee. The Macrons are not citizens of Delaware. Thus, there's no connection to Delaware. Like, what are we doing in Delaware? We should dismiss in Delaware and say that they have to file where you are, like where they.
So I didn't understand the whole Delaware thing, but I kind of understand the whole Delaware thing. So here's right
Brigitte
here.
Macron was born a male rather, and that goes viral. Okay, it just goes viral. Gets more people speaking about it. So you can just, a lot of stuff is happening at this time. We know that is when Turning Point is beginning to scout this location for their event. The school is telling them this is not a great place for you to host this because there's no traffic control here. Turning Point employees insist that it is the best location. Headquarters employees insist that it's the best location. It's Charlie's preferred location. And so it's got to happen from August 5th to the 6th. That's the notorious Hamptons retreat that took place. Charlie himself described it as an intervention, and Bill Ackman disputes that narrative. Seth Dillon disputes that narrative. Bibi Netanyahu offers to take Turning Point to the next level financially. Charlie declines that offer. Okay. We fast forward to the 17th. BBT flies again. It does its Nebraska route. Charlie speaking on August 23rd. It again goes through to Wilmington, and it stays one night on August 23rd in Wilmington.
And remember, who is on this plane? I want to make sure everybody is on the same page. Who is on this plane, y'all? Do y'all remember? Who is on this plane? Say it in the chat. I want to make sure y'all keeping up because there's a lot of information. Who's on this plane? Or who is most likely on the plane, I would say. Erica Kirk. Erica Kirk was in UVU without the knowledge of Charlie Kirk. So let's keep going. So this is 4 months ago. This is how she was feeling when it was actually happening.
To be precise, I received a very strange message from a friend of mine. I'm not going to identify that friend, but the message.
So this is the same scenario 4 months ago, and she's talking about Charlie Kirk. She didn't want to name him back then.
Specifically read, "Hey, I have something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call you. I'm just the messenger here." Again, strange. I'm just the messenger here, like kind of removing themselves from whatever was going to be said. So I assume it's got to be something weird. And I say, yeah, whatever, give me a call. And so he does call me pretty immediately, by the way. And he says, somebody very high up at the White House has asked me to ask you if, as a favor, you could stop speaking about Brigitte Macron. Like, what? Excuse me? I'm not kidding when I say that. In the myriad of possibilities that were floating through my brain about what this phone call was going to be about.
And y'all remember why Charlie Kirk called her about that? Because her and a number of countries were putting together a peace treaty for Ukraine. She, by herself, by her little ass self, was stopping a peace treaty in Ukraine.
That was not one of them. So I'm just kind of having to redirect, and I'm going, oh, what were you talking about? To be clear, we had, ironically, as a podcast, we had just ended our Brigitte Macron series 4 days earlier on February 20th. That's when we released the last episode, which was the epilogue. So I'm going, that doesn't make sense. Why am I getting this phone call now? And obviously I ask for a little more information. I say, who specifically called you? And that friend of mine says, it's somebody that has the president's ear. This is somebody important. So I'm thinking, okay, this is advisor.
No, Brigitte Macron had his ear.
Susie Wiles, I don't know.
Yes, Zelensky is hella corrupt. Yes. That's where all the tadpole traffic lights are over in Ukraine.
And I tell my friend, go back to that person and just say, I said no. It's free speech. This is obviously an important story to me. The implications here are pretty severe about what I've uncovered. So no deal. Hang up. I go into my husband's office and I tell him what just happened. And honestly, I'm kind of laughing at the absurdity of it because I hadn't thought beyond what may have happened. And then I do what I always do just in case. I call Noah, I call the lawyer, and I'm like, hey, I know Macron's, sending us legal letters. Just want you to add this onto the pile that somebody at the White House is asking me to just stop speaking about Brigitte Macron. Cool. We kind of have a laugh about it, run it different ways.
Somebody's like, what is tadpole traffic lights? Can somebody explain what tadpole traffic lights are, please? We have certain verbiage over here. We have aha. We don't say certain words. So can somebody, without using certain verbiage, can somebody please explain what tadpole traffic lights are for the person in the chat? Because they're confused. Please and thank you. Because we have certain terminology over here.
Are we going to expect something else to be delivered to my door? Another threat, implicit threat from the Macrons? Somebody calling in a favor? Who knows? What?
Oh, crap. Y'all saying the wrong stuff. Okay. Stop. Y'all are getting blocked. I'm not doing it. YouTube is doing it. So YouTube is hiding your comments. So stop. Y'all keep saying it. So stop. Everybody stop. I see it. YouTube is blocking y'all words because y'all are saying bad words. Okay. All right. Tadpole traffic lights means tadpoles are little baby frogs. Okay. So tadpoles is one word. Tadpole means baby frog. So on YouTube, we can't say certain things, right? All right. So if you think Epstein files, what is Epstein famous for doing? We say tadpole instead of what Epstein is charged for, right? Little, small, little, So baby frogs, infant frogs. Just think about that. All right. And then the traffic lights is, think about cars in traffic. A car driving through traffic. Like you get stuck in traffic because you're trying to get to the airport, right? Well, we can't use that word when it comes to tadpoles, because when you say tadpoles and then you say traffic, it sounds like you ain't talking about nothing to YouTube. So we say tadpole traffic lights in order for YouTube to not be able to understand what we're saying. So we say tadpole traffic lights instead of what Epstein was convicted for, which will get my channel deleted. Okay. So, all right, there we go. Because I wanted y'all to do it, but y'all kept saying bad words. Y'all said a P word. I'm like, oh shit. Because I don't want y'all to have any problems. So we say tadpole traffic lights.
Ever. Anyways, we do dinner. And I am kind of feeling bad about my pregnant attitude on the phone call, you know, because I was, 8 weeks away.
So up till now, 2 different people called her and say, would you please stop talking about Brigitte Macron? And she said, kiss off. I'm not doing nothing. Kiss my ass.
From birth. And I was a bit shorter on the phone than I would have been if there wasn't like a growing infant foot that's lodged under my lung. And this person has been very good to me in the past. And so I resolved.
And this person is Charlie Kirk.
That before I go to bed, I'll phone him back and have a much more calm conversation. Not that I was rude, but just like, hey, what's this actually about? And so I did. And not only that, before I called this individual back, when I checked online, I realized that Emmanuel Macron is in Washington, D.C., February 24th. He is in Washington, D.C., and he had departed the White House just hours before I received the call. So anyways, I am in awe. A lot of thoughts are running through my mind. What could this possibly be about? And when I call that person back, they tell me something that is even stranger. They say, look, I again am the messenger here. What I was told from somebody that's pretty high up at the White House is that Emmanuel Macron is holding up negotiations to end the Russian and Ukrainian war.
Because of her. Because of little old Candace. This little woman has so much power. I'm telling y'all, I'm so proud of Candace Owens. Like, I never personally met her, but Candace Owens started in a relationship space where I was. Candace Owens was debating people about single motherhood like I was. And now she's out here stopping peace talks. That's crazy. I just want y'all to understand the power of this black woman, man. I'm so proud of her. Drop heart emojis in the chat for Candace Owens, y'all. And everybody say go Max in the chat. Drop heart emojis in the chat and say go Max in the chat. Go Max in the chat.
Even stranger.
This shit is
they
crazy.
Say, look, I again am the messenger here. What I was told from somebody that's pretty high up at the White House is that Emmanuel Macron is holding up negotiations to end the Russian and Ukrainian war unless you stop speaking about his wife.
Damn.
I'm just going, what? What are you saying? What are we even speaking about? What do you mean negotiations between Russia and Ukraine? I'm just like, looking into a story at my house. I've got a very small team here, and you're telling me that somehow negotiations are being held up and it needs to be communicated to me. They got to stop talking about Brigitte. What are we saying? And
this is the reason why let me be quiet. This is the reason why they deleting people. This is the reason why they run around deleting people. So now that y'all I'm going to play some more of that, but now that y'all understand the urgency and the power that we have over the rest of the world, not just America. We are the new media. This woman is holding up peace talks between America, Russia, Ukraine, all because of what she's saying online. And somebody said, no, she didn't get Charlie deleted. No, don't say that. She didn't get deleted because she stopped. She said, okay, I'm going to stop. She stopped. So her stopping and Charlie Kirk still talking shit about IHOP is what got Charlie deleted. So don't say Candace did it. Candace, Tucker Carlson, and Charlie Kirk all are known on a blank list. All three of them are on this list. And they got 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes. Candace Owens probably would have died if she would have kept talking shit. She said, all right, I'm pregnant. I'm about to have this baby. And her having this baby and being pregnant may have made it where, all right, she just had she's pregnant. So it's a possibility her being pregnant may have stopped her from getting deleted. Because you got to be really bad. A pregnant woman? A pregnant woman now? So at this time, she wasn't pregnant in September though. But they probably like, all right, she pregnant. Like, let's just, and then she stopped. Bro, this is crazy.
Then I'm asking myself in my mind, because I hang up this phone, I am in true shock. Did Emmanuel Macron pretend to fly into DC under the guise of negotiations, the Russia and Ukraine war, and then instruct someone on his entourage to have an off the books discussion, a little meeting on the side, maybe somebody again like a Susie Wiles, where he made his truer demands? Like, hey, this is for the pictures. Me and Trump are talking about you. We're going to get it done. And then what really goes on behind the scenes is like, we're not doing anything until that little podcaster, Candace, agrees to shut her mouth.
That's
what?
Crazy.
This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Okay.
The bottom line is we have the power. We have the power. CNN doesn't have the power. ABC doesn't have the power. CBS doesn't have the power. We have the power. Our voices have more power than anybody else. All these little old white people, they don't have the power. Us little black people have the power now. And white people. Because Charlie Kirk had the power too. We don't need to be on no damn news and on TV. I'm on somebody's TV right now. Hold on, let me put y'all comments up on the TV. I'm on TV now. I ain't got to be on damn CNN. I'm on TV. I'm on somebody's TV. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm on your TV right now. Put a 1 in the chat if I'm on your TV right now. I'm on TV already. I don't need to kiss ass, suck balls to be on somebody's TV screen. I'm on TV right now. Candace is on TV right now. We have the power. We don't have to suck ass like these other people do. We're already on TV. We already are influencing young people. Already.
So I say, we ended the conversation. I say, I'm going to sleep on this. It's a lot to process. I remember I get into bed and I just turn to my husband and I say, no one will ever believe us. Just something that just arrived at me very suddenly. I said, no one will ever believe that this just took place. And my husband's like, yeah, no, this is just very, very strange. And I promised the individual that I would pray on it, that I would think further about the situation. What are the
Oh, I just want y'all to know, y'all are on TV right now too. I just want to say that because y'all comments are right here. So y'all are in TV on TV also. So we both are on TV. So the more y'all comment, the more you'll see your own comment on the TV screen. So we are on TV, not me. We are on TV. Comment, we are on TV right now. Everybody in the chat right now, comment, we are on TV. Let's go. Everybody comment, we are on TV. We are on TV.
The implications here. And I then call him back the next day and I say, look, this is pretty weird. You have to admit this is pretty weird. And you're not really giving me any details. And I kind of want to know who specifically you spoke to, because I think it kind of matters. Is somebody trying to do a side deal while Trump is doing a different deal? And at that moment, he's honest and he says, no, President Trump was on the phone too.
Oh.
And I go, oh, are you kidding me? You didn't tell me this yesterday? That there was some sort of a conference call and President Trump is on the line? You didn't mention it. I go, did you lie to me yesterday? Were you trying to pretend that it was like a third party person? And he says, no, I didn't lie to you. I didn't lie to you. Like, I got a phone call and I obviously in the background, Trump communicated something to me. So he was there when the phone call took place. And I'm going, what the heck is going on? Literally, what is happening right now? So I got the phone with him and I used to say, I just need time to process what you're saying. This is so absurd. How could this become an issue that is involving the President of the United States? I'm doing a series on my podcast. And then I just kind of get into mommy mode because it's Tuesday. My daughter's got ballet. I'm at ballet with my
See, she's a mom. She's pregnant. They're not going to do nothing to her.
daughter. And I get a text message from that person that says, you need to pick up the phone. Somebody from the White House is calling you.
Somebody from the White House is calling her. Now who's about to be on her phone? Let me read this super chat real quick. Shout out to Marissa. I think it was Ian Carroll. Shout out to Ian Carroll that said Charlie Kirk's videos were blowing up in views months before millions of views within minutes. Unrealistic amount planned. Hold on. His videos were blowing up in views. Yeah, because he just died. I think that's the reason why. You know, when somebody just dies, when there's new news, everybody's watching. So it's died down a little bit now. So I think that's the reason why.
And I say, okay, it happened so quickly. I pick up the phone and sure enough, it is somebody at the White House that is calling me. It's not Donald Trump, but it's somebody at the White House that is calling me. That's pretty high up, close proximity to Trump.
I think this is a third person calling her.
I'm not going to name. And this person just, I assume, has never even watched 1 minute of my content because, I mean, if there were a guide to how not to approach Candace Owens when you are trying to get something done, he was just following this guide. He could not have been more pompous and more arrogant on the phone. And I would like to contextualize that I'm like pretty heavily pregnant. So like, you know, my bandwidth for BS or anybody trying to like, well, you know.
Oh, and real quick, I just want to tell y'all, because I see some members in the chat. I just added like 7 more videos to the membership. So for anybody who is new here and who has not seen my 100 videos on Charlie Kirk and you would like to get caught up, I just put like 7 or 8 videos in my membership portal. So become a member and you'll be able to get those videos. So now in my in all my videos, I think I got 10, maybe 10 members only videos. So they're videos that I've done before, but that's what I'm saying. And so if you're new and you would like to get caught up on all of the things I've been talking about, even from day one, make sure to hit the membership button and become a member, or give somebody some memberships in the chat. So either give somebody memberships in the chat or become a member yourself and check out the videos, and I'll be adding more.
It was very low. And he essentially says, look, you should do it because it's the president and he's asking you to do it. What else do you want me to say? Just do it. Just stop talking about Brigitte Macron. It's astounding. Reflecting on that level of arrogance because he told you to do it. It's an order, so you should do it. And all I was thinking in my mind before I flew into, a little rage was that expression, proximity to power can lead others to deluding that they wield it. You're close to power. You think you're now Trump. You're calling me, even if you were Trump, this wouldn't be the way to speak to me. And you're calling me like that's an order from the president of the United States. So you just do it. No questions asked. Don't even think about freedom of speech. Who cares about that pesky little First Amendment? You got to just do it now. And I just basically say, look, my daughter's crying because she doesn't like when I step out of ballet, even though she can see me. She's, please, mommy, come back in. You're speaking to me inappropriately. And I just say, I don't really care I don't know who you think you're speaking to, but this is not how you're going to get anything done with me. And I just hang up the phone. I'm like, this is just not a good conversation. I don't want to be part of this anymore. Goodbye. I don't like that at all. And the third party person who had initially told me about the situation is trying to calm.
And the third party is Charlie Kirk.
Down, and he calls behind. He's like, no, I don't know why you're spoken to like that. And this is still really important. And, this really matters to the president. And he's kind of trying to talk me off the pregnancy cliff. And I'm still.
But why is Charlie Kirk kissing ass so much?
Calm enough that I know that pregnant Candace is not always the most rational Candace and a little bit of a hothead. And I resolve, as I'm speaking to this situation with my husband, that I should also reach out and maybe call someone who's potentially been in a predicament like this. I don't know, someone who's got a larger audience than me and kind of call in a favor because I don't normally text him, but I did reach out to Tucker Carlson. And I just kind of told him the situation and was like, look, this is really weird. I know I don't normally contact you for advice, but I could really use some advice right now because you know how much free speech matters to me and basically how important this particular story is to me because it involves, potentially, not just potentially, like pedophilia, incest, all of these elements. And as a mother, the idea that people this powerful, that the story could be covered it matters. Like this actually, the truth just matters at the end of the day. But also, like, if I could end the Ukrainian and Russian war, and by just stopping this conversation, I would do it.
Right.
And he comes back with just very sage Tucker Carlson advice. And he says, look, you don't want to have the bloodshed of Christians on your conscience, but also free speech does matter. And you should essentially say you'll do it until, like you're saying, this negotiations are happening now and you'll agree to do that. But at some point, obviously, you need to inform people about what happened because this is totally crazy. And I say that's actually a very good idea. I feel like that's a very principled position to take. Anyways, I sleep on that. Anger is subsiding. Wake up the next morning. It's February 26th. And I am sitting in the makeup chair and I get another message that's like, hey, keep your phone on. And I'm going, I really don't want to speak to this advisor.
Exactly. So here's another person about to call her. This has to be very, 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 very important for them to keep calling her. This is the fourth damn time.
Anymore. I really don't. Where our personalities are not meshing. And anyways, this phone call is coming from Florida. I pick up the phone. And lo and behold, so here's what happened. I'm negotiating this thing. I'm negotiating Ukraine and Russia, and you wouldn't believe how many parts are part. It is President Donald J. Trump. He is calling me, and in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right into the narrative. We're not, hey, how you doing? He just jumps right into the narrative of exactly how.
This Brigitte person has to be extremely powerful. All these people calling her and she says no. And then the president of the United States calls her.
This went down. I am literally, it is hard to catch my breath to comprehend that 4 days ago, I'm ending a series about Brigitte Macron. And now I'm speaking to the president of the United States And the topic of conversation, no matter which way you want to slice it, it's about Macron's wife's penis. I mean, there's no other way to say it, right? And so he just jumps right into the narrative. He's like, I'm negotiating. You wouldn't believe how many pieces this person wants this person, and this person wants this, and you have no idea how much is involved when you're trying to get one of these deals done, Anyways, I have Macron. I like Macron. We're speaking at the White House, and I'm walking him to his car. And, he says to me, Mr. President, can I speak to you for a second? I say, of course you can speak to me about anything. What's going on? And he tells me that there's Secret Service all around them. There's SUVs. They're encircled. And Macron wants to have a little sidebar. And then Macron says to him, Mr. President, do you know Candace Owens? And I say, yes, of course I know Candace Owens. What's going on? And then the president says to me, you must be a very powerful person, Candace. We're talking about the president of France taking me aside to talk about your podcast.
Wow.
And then continues his narrative, and he tells me that Emmanuel Macron is requesting to his face that I stop speaking about his wife. And one of the things Trump said is like, he tells me, she's old, and this is really, really impacting her. And I'm listening, and he's, in one of Trump monologues. He's very funny. And then he said,
would y'all stop if Donald Trump called y'all? If y'all was doing something on social media, would y'all stop if Donald Trump called y'all and asked y'all to stop? Yes or no in the chat. Say yes or no in the chat. If y'all was doing something on social media and Donald Trump literally called your phone and say, hey, Amanda or Diana, would you please just stop doing what you're doing on social media and just do something different? It'll mean a lot to me. That shit is crazy. The president? That is crazy.
I saw her, Candace, I saw her up close, and she looks like a woman to me. She looks like a woman to me. I had dinner with her at the top of the Eiffel Tower. And I explained to him that she has had this amazing doctor who specializes in transgenderism surgeries or feminization procedures. I'm talking to the president of the United States about this, guys. This is crazy. This is wacky. But I'm just giving it as good as I get. I'm just trying to get him to understand the truth. And then I explained to him why I don't feel so great about this request, because that's the more important part. Like, you are requesting that I really, and despite your reasoning, which is very sound, that I stop telling the truth.
Right.
And I said to Trump, and I will be honest, that at that moment I realized that one day this is going to go into my autobiography. And so I got to say something funny. And I said to him, respectfully, Mr. President, it's not my fault that he married someone with a penis.
Oh, wow.
He then tells me, we're really close to getting this thing done. We're really close to getting this thing done. He tells me again, Macron's been really good to me. He's been very easy to work with us. He's been a good person. He just wants me to get this one thing done. And then he throws in the art of the deal type stuff. He starts complimenting me. He said, Melania loves you. She says you're so beautiful. She thinks you're so beautiful. I said, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President.
Wait. Not Melania loves you. She thinks you're beautiful. What the hell does that have to do with her freedom of speech? Melania loves you and she thinks you're beautiful. What that got to do with me doing what I'm doing and making my money and putting out my truth? Okay, I'm beautiful, and now what? Oh, my wife thinks you're beautiful. If that ain't the most manipulative bullshit that a man can say to a woman, my wife thinks you're beautiful, therefore stop doing do what I want you to do. Yo, that is absolutely crazy. That is crazy. That's manipulative.
Compliments will get you everywhere in life is my mentality here. And then I say to him what I've agreed to already in the back of my head. I say, look, I'm happy to do this for the short. Obviously, I don't want to have on my conscience that less Christian men could have died in the East if I just shut up about something. But I'm very clear to him that this is going to be short term. And that I fully expect that in a few months, I will be able to speak about this. And this is the point of the conversation where it actually gets quite interesting, because he says yes, and I am now adding to you what I sensed like he was about to commit to that.
Maybe he said, okay, no problem, Candace, because by then, Charlie Kirk will be dead by then, and you'll learn your lesson by then anyway. And she still hasn't learned her lesson. So that may have been the plan. Get Candace to shut up. She shuts up for a certain amount of months. And then Candace turned around and said, but I'm going to talk about this again. And they're like, you know what? Let's whack Charlie Kirk and she'll shut up forever. And she's not shutting up forever.
But then it felt to me like someone in the background was like, no, we need this conversation to stop altogether. And then he doesn't say no or yes, but he just says, that he really needs to work with Macron long term, and they have this long working relationship. And I was very clear, this is not long term for me. Like, if you're close to this deal, ink it, let's get it done. And then he sort of offers at the end, he says, hey, maybe I can come on your podcast one day. I'm great for ratings. There's so Trump gave herself a compliment. So I gave him the Trump right back. And I say respectfully, Mr. President, I'm apparently good for ratings too, because you've got a leader of a country, the president of the country, asking you to ask me to do a favor. So,
in other words, bitch, I'm more powerful than you are. I got the power. I got the ratings, not you. I love it. I love it. And I want to interrupt and show you right here when she said this.
And this new status angle is not something that seems subtle to me. When I consider that it was Charlie that called me, it was Charlie that said that they want me to stop speaking about Brigitte. And now I consider status, which according to our source, our well-placed source, is a front, right? Suddenly this French company comes in and leases a hangar for only 2 years and discreetly moved to 920 King Street. What does France 18th, 2024 hit the stage of Turning Point's AmFest? They want me gone from the Turning Point roster, right? I bring my new independent show back in June. And the timeline, actually, when I start to put these things together, is interesting. So we're going to bring that up here because I like timelines. It makes things neat, right? In Ukraine, it is related to the peace. Something to tell you from the White House. They asked me to call again. I felt bad. Tomorrow, or maybe I said tonight, call the 6th. No longer relevant, and I don't want Christian men to be slaughtered.
And I'm looking for something right now. I'm looking for her to say something right here.
We then have on July 18, signed on request, but this one's happening quickly. To be the period that Brigitte and Emmanuel Macron released to the Financial Times that they are suing me in a Delaware court, right?
Hold on, where is it? I'm looking for something.
Shut, telling us that we should lay low because there was a quote unquote list going around. Because there was a quote unquote.
All right, so this is it right here.
List going around. Another person was a very well-known woman who happens to be married to a CIA contractor. Same exact message. You and Tucker Carlson. But, of course, we cannot tell you who we are getting this information from. I'm starting to realize, as I consider who the sources are and their closeness to the military, and now that we've gotten into the story and realized that virtually everybody there that day has these military ties, that threat may have been coming from the government, actually. That the globalized government that we live under, right, LOL to the idea that we have the national sovereignty, may have wanted me and Tucker to watch our friend die. And then that global gang wanted us to know that you will be next if you don't shut up.
That part right there. That part right there. So there's a possibility that Charlie was unalived because this could be IHOP, France, or Ukraine. Which one do you think? IHOP, France, or Ukraine, y'all? Was it Buddy? Was it Brigitte? Or was it Zelensky? Who do y'all think? IHOP, France, or Ukraine? Which one you think? Because they needed her to stop talking, and Candace turned around and said, well, I'm just going to stop for a little while. And they was probably like, all right, maybe if we just whack your friend, you'll stop talking for good. because you think we playing. And then he's dead.
Then we end the conversation, and I am just reeling. I can't believe it's even happened. I then go and I immediately tell my husband, and I write down the details of the conversation so that I wouldn't forget the conversation that we were having. And of course, the first thing that I want to say principally is that Emmanuel Macron must step down. Okay? Because if that is true, and I will say that did not come from Trump. He did not say specifically he's holding up negotiations for this, but he did say specifically that they were talking about the Ukraine and Russia war all day, and he's just trying to make it all happen. And that is when Macron took him to the side. So I kind of trust the information who came from that third party person, that what he was being told was that he was holding this up, right? Like Macron's holding this up, a contingency here on whether or not he's going to agree to this sort of international deal is whether or not Candace Owens stops speaking about his wife. Yet you got to step down. Okay, because there is no greater example of just the lack of morality that a leader can have than his husband, wife putting him on a plane and sending him.
His husband, wife is crazy.
Sending him overseas to make Candace Owens stop speaking about their relationship. That is like, we really all should just take a deep breath here, take a step back and recognize that he is willing to let bloodshed. He's willing to let people die. Okay. And a hold up here is going to be whether or not Candace Owens stops speaking about his wife's penis. That's ridiculous. You are not qualified to hold office. I thought that before all of this, just looking into your background. I know you're a fraud. You know you're a fraud. Your wife certainly knows that you are a fraud, but this is reaching levels where you just have to be impeached. That's absurd.
Shit. So I got a video coming at 4:00 within an hour. So let's do this real quick. Everybody in the chat say go Max. Everybody in the chat say go Max. Little lady got a pee-pee is crazy. Everybody in the chat say go Max. Everybody in the chat say go Max. Drop go Max in the chat. Everybody in the chat say go Max. Everybody in the chat say go Max. All right. So I need y'all to click this link that I'm pinning in the chat, because I have a show that is about to come up within an hour. Watch this show. Click. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Click. Remind me. All right. So I'm going to pin this at the top of the chat. Oops. Everybody watching. Where is it? Everybody watching, click the link that I just dropped in the chat. Click the link I just dropped in the chat. Click the link I just dropped in the chat. Click the link I just dropped in the chat. This is going to be airing in less than an hour. Click this link. Everybody click the link that I'm putting in the chat. If you're just watching, what is going on? On your TV, I'll put it in the comment section. Click this link now. Copy. Boom. Everybody click this link now. Everybody click this link now. Everybody click this link. Click this link. Click this link. Everybody click the link. The link is private. It is not private. It's private. Oh. It's not okay. It must be saying private. Okay, sorry. The link is to the next video coming up at 4:00. I thought the link. Oh, I know what I need to do. Hold on, y'all. I got you. Set it for premiere. That's what I got to do. So I think if I do it this way, set as premiere. Done. Now. All right, let's see. Okay, now click the link. See what happens now. Let me know what happens now when I click the link. When you click the link now. You should be able to. Yes, I fix it. So everybody click the link right now and go in that comment section and say go Max in that comment section. That video is about to go live. It's working now, right? Okay. So everybody spam that chat in that link and say go Max in that chat. Everybody go in there. I'm watching it right now. All right. Divine said it. Happy Face said it. Arlene said it. Everybody go. Everybody go over there and say go Max in that chat and hit notify me. So hit notify me in that video. So you'll be notified when it comes up because y'all said y'all don't get notified. I need everybody in there. Everybody say go Max, and hit the notify me button. I need 1,000 people in there because there's 1,000 people over here. I need 1,000 people to click that link and say go Max in the chat and hit the notify me button. Go Max in the chat. Say go Max in that chat. Go to that chat and say go Max. Because I know some people are like, what I gotta do? Huh? What? Go click the link in the chat and then type go Max in that chat under that video. That video will be going live in 45 minutes. All right. So go in there, hit notify me to be notified and hit go Max in the chat. All right. So y'all doing it? All right. Cool. So let's play this. So while y'all are doing that, let me play some calming music while y'all play go Max in the chat over there. Here we go.
Mama, sit down, let's play this game. In these cards we heal our pain. Face to face we both explain. Maybe find our bond again. Years of anger lose their sting. We both said some hurtful things. Let these questions heal broken strings. Let this game and fractured wings. Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see when we play this game. My inner child just wants to be seen. I forgive you, do you forgive me?
Come on, y'all keep doing it. We don't have 1,000 people over there yet. Everybody go over to that other link. No, it's not on Patreon. It's just scheduled for 4:00. And it's just 3:14. It's not on Patreon. Just click the link and it will go live at 4:00. So I'm going back live at 4:00. So go click that link and say go Max in the chat and it will go live in 45 minutes. It's not on Patreon. It's just in the link. It's another YouTube video.
The hurt, the neglect and disrespect. Wounds can be healed in these two decks. Even though our past attempts have stalled, Mama, please just don't withdraw. Like mother, like daughter, we are the same. You'll see See, when we play this game, my inner child just wants to be seen. I forgive you, do you forgive me? The hurt, the neglect and disrespect, wounds can be healed in these two decks. Even though our past attempts have stalled.
I appreciate that, King J. I appreciate that.
Mama, please just don't withdraw. Like mother, like daughter, we are the same.
Yo, somebody is over in the other chat, in the other video, saying that I just got teleported through Stargate. Because they teleported over to another live stream. Y'all are hilarious. Come on, y'all. Go to that link and say Go Max in that chat. I see y'all over there. I'm watching y'all now. Y'all slow down. I need y'all to go over there and say Go Max. Everybody go over there and say Go Max. Let's go. Y'all are hilarious.
Play this game. My inner child just wants to be seen. I forgive you, do you forgive me? Even though our past attempts have stalled, Mama, please just don't withdraw.
Just do it. Just do it. Do it.
Everybody, everybody hit the like button. 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 If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. What? Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. If you got something to say, drop it in the comments. Don't be acting afraid. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city in the chat. Let me know you at. Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. What? Drop your city. What? Drop your city in the chat. Drop your city in the chat. What? Everybody hit the like button. Yep. Everybody hit the like button.